Hola, culés. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday. Guys, there's so much to get to. I thought I was going to do a live stream, and I actually thought it was just going to be, just you and me having fun, creating a starting 11 for, and also the bench starting 11 for the 2024-2025 season. But news never stop with Barca, and there's so much to talk about. There's also the Cristiano Ronaldo interview. These interviews for international breaks are just insane. Time after time, he spoke about Lamine Yamal. He's also talking about Leo Messi. I feel like I want to get started on the starting 11, but there's so much news at the same time. So it's like I don't know what I want to do first. I guess I'll just stick to what I said I was going to talk about on this live stream, and then we'll just go ahead and do some news rundown as far as Grimaldo, as far as Nico Williams. There has some news have been developed about Nico Williams as well. There's also stuff to talk about Lamine Yamal, like I said, with Cristiano Ronaldo. There's some news that broke about Ter Stegen. Apparently, Ter Stegen was upset that he didn't get the starting job for the semifinals in the UEFA Champions League, and this is one of the reasons why Hansi Flick wants to move on from him as well. Guys, there's so much. Let me know your thoughts as far as Ter Stegen goes. Let me know your thoughts about the latest news for Barca and a lot of the things that are been coming out. But guys, please like the stream so we can get to more people, so more people can find out about the stream. Please let me know in the chat. Get in the chat. Let me know what's going on. We're just going to get started here real quick with the line builder, and I'm gonna start doing my just kind of my official review for the 2024 2020 2025 season. Let me just get my notes, and let me know, guys, how are you guys doing today? What are you guys up to? Please get in the chat. So as far as my 2024 season, like I said, I am going to have also a manager. I am going to have I will have Luis Enrique as my starting 11 manager, and I am going to have Hansi Flick as my backup manager as well. So the first thing that I am going to do is I am going to talk about two or three different options, and then I am going to give you my starting spot name. So we're just gonna have that dynamic throughout the stream. So to begin with, so for my goalkeeper of the season, there's a couple that I do wanted to mention. I want to mention Raya. I want to mention the goalkeeper for Arsenal. I thought he had an incredible season. Of course, we all know the kind of keeper that Sommer is. Sommer was another incredible, just another incredible season that he had as well with Inter Milan. So at the end of the day, guys, I have to go with Donnarumma here. Donnarumma saved 72% of has 72% saves, which is not a lot. I think Sommer had about 76, but when you take a look at the kind of season that Donnarumma had, he was incredible in every single facet of the Champions League. When you take a look at the tie that he had against Liverpool, he was a major. Him, that game. I remember that him and Allison had an amazing game. Both of them were just incredible. So and then not just only that, but the Aston Villa one was even greater for Donnarumma. So I think that that would be a kind of a no-brainer here to have Donnarumma as the starting goalkeeper of the season. I believe that he will ultimately be the winner of the best keeper in the world. But as I'm doing this, guys, I want you guys to get in the chat. I want you guys to let me know what your thoughts, if you actually agree with what I'm doing, or if you actually disagree with what I'm doing, which that'll make it just more fun if we can just bounce off each other like that. So um, as my starting CBs, I am going to say, like I said, I am going to go with a couple of names, and then I am going to just give you guys what I think that should be the starting CBs for the season. So for my CB, the ones that I want to mention is a number three. My number three is going to be Pacho. I thought that Pacho had an amazing season with PSG, and one of the reasons why they were so great on defense, guys, Pacho was incredible. Pacho, like I said before, between Pacho and Araujo, both of these players are incredible. And Araujo just doesn't have it in his head that he's one of the best, so he never plays like the best, like the best. So that's his issue. But as far as what what Pacho can do, he is more poised. He's always so focused, and I think between him and Araujo is just focus. It's just a focus issue. It's not even an issue about anything else, rather than just not being the best. And I think that's what happens with Ronald Araujo, if I am quite honest with you. So as my number four, I am going to go with Bastoni here. I think Bastoni, what an incredible season that he had with Inter Milan. He was a big deal against Barca. One of the reasons why they were so good, it was Bastoni. Ultimately, he was making a lot of he was organizing the defense, and I think he was a big deal against Barcelona. In my opinion, I know they allowed a lot of goals, but at the end of the day, guys, that was the reason why they were and so good. But guys, please like the stream. I want you guys to please support the channel. Please like the stream, and that way we can get to a lot more people that may be interested in this kind of content. This is why we are active, is so we can attract as well other people. So as my starting CB, guys, I am just gonna go ahead and tell you guys, it has to be Virgil van Dijk. He is also going to be the comeback player of the year, because he had an amazing season, and he coming off of a big injury. He was off for a lot of games. So I think Virgil van Dijk had a lot to do with the title, that Liverpool won. And I know that he had a big bounce up year. So I think he had just amazing year. When he's on, guys, he plays like the best player in the world. I'm just gonna go and be honest with you guys. When he's on, he's on. So I really love him. So as my second, guys, there's a couple of like I said, there's Pacho, there's Bastoni, but guys, there's Kubarsi as well. But guys, I have to go with my man Inigo Martinez. And the reason why I want to go with Inigo Martinez is because Inigo Martinez was incredible. He came in as a free agent for Barca, and the reason why Barcelona was so successful with the Highline, it had a lot to do with Inigo Martinez. Okay, I think he was a big deal for us to have the kind of season that we had. I don't know what he's gonna be like right now next season. But the season that Inigo Martinez had was, to me, was just off the charts. Organizing the team, also with like I said, moving around with the high line, and also playing big defense in big moments as well. So I honestly think, guys, that Inigo Martinez had that kind of a season, which is interesting, right? It's so interesting coming into next season. What is it going to be like? Is it going to be one more year? Can he have another year like he had this year? That is my biggest question that I have for a player like Inigo Martinez, who is going to be just 1 year older. And I just don't know, guys. I want to see it. And this is one of the reasons why I want Barcelona to keep Araujo for next season, because apparently the news came out that Barcelona wants to sell Christensen. So I guess that was an issue as well. That now we're gonna be with one less CB as well. So, but guys, get in the chat. I haven't heard any of you get in the chat yet, and I'm waiting for you guys to just get in the chat so we can bounce off each other. So as a left back, okay. So my options for left back, right? I'm gonna have my I think Lewis Kelly is going to be my number three CB. I think Lewis Kelly was amazing. I think he has a crazy stat that he has not been dribbled a single time this year. Can can you imagine playing as a left back, facing wingers after wingers after wingers, and wingers, not just wingers. Like if you're facing Mo Salah, for example, if you're in the Prem, you're obviously facing like the Cole Palmers of the world. You're facing a big deal talent, right? Well, Lewis Kelly has not been dribbled this year. That is an insane stat when it comes to him, and I think that ultimately he should be the one. Maybe as a second. He should be like a second place, but I am gonna go as a second place with my man Balde. I think Balde had just an amazing season with Barca as well, and to be honest with you, I think he almost made it to number one. And the only reason why he's not number one because I think my number one was dominant in his position, and that number one is gonna be Nuno Mendes. Guys, this guy, I mean, he put everyone on lockdown mode. When he's attacking, he could be as a beast as Balde can be, but also he can be another CB in the back because he's so good on defense. So I think that when you mix both of those things together, then that's just an incredible player like Luno Mendes. And to me, that's the thing with. But let me know, guys. What are your thoughts about Balde or Nuno Mendes? And then I'll give you my thoughts and until almost he almost made it as a number one, but to me he's definitely the number two. So as far as the right back position, right? So the right back position, I think Kunde is going to be my number one. I'm gonna break the rules and I'm just gonna go ahead and say my number one. My number one is definitely gonna be Kunde, guys. So I am gonna have as a number two. I am gonna have Hakimi. And what a season, right? What a season did Hakimi had? And I'm gonna ask you guys just to excuse me 1 second. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, as a second at the right back, right? So I'm gonna have Kunde, then it's Hakimi. So Hakimi had 21 goals in 21 GAs actually. Sorry, so 21 GAs, 14 goals. That was incredible. Also, we have another player like Dumfries, for example. Dumfries is gonna be my number three. Dumfries had 14 goals this season. So, and I remember the kind of season that he had with Barca, the kind of game that he had against Barca was just insane. Was insane to me. But ultimately, guys, I think the best player at the right back position has to be my man Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé this season won 95% of aerial duels, and he was a big deal to why Barcelona was so successful with Lamine Yamal down the right. And I think that was important. It's important the way he played like a winger at times when he did, do give and go after give and go after give and go with Lamine Yamal. So I think that Kunde, he's the kind of season that he had, in my opinion, I think it was insanely good, playing like the best player. And if you guys have a better right back, there's Hakimi. Some of you may say Hakimi, and that's totally fine. Hakimi had a great season. I have his numbers right here too. So Hakimi had 21 GAs this season. That is that is great. That is nothing to sneeze at. That's very impressive. So guys, as the pivot, I want you guys to get in the chat. I want you guys to let me know your thoughts. There's six of you. Please, guys, like the stream so we can get to more people. And also, if you comment, that it's a way of supporting the stream, supporting the channel, so the algorithm can help us out. So anyway, so if you're talking about the double pivot, I think everyone and their mother knows who should be the two people that should be the two midfielders that should be the double pivot, right? And then that has to be Vitinha, and that has to be as well Vitinha and Pedri, of course. There's no other way around it. So those are the two that are always going to be in any starting 11. What is good, Jonas, and what is going up, Alani? What is going on, man? And then Pedri, right? Yeah, Pedri. So that's what I'm saying, guys. So as my best midfielder, I am going to go. My first one, it just has to be on the right, right? It has to be Vitinha. Vitinha has to be the one, and then obviously Pedri, right? Pedri. But we're also gonna give some thoughts on some players that need to be mentioned as well because that is also in person. I think Pedri, the way that he moved Barca, the way that him and Frankie De Jong, right? They took control of the middle of the field time and time and time again. But Pedri, how many games was Pedri the number one that in every single game that Barcelona was playing? Like he's always the man of the match, even though Rafinha was scoring goals. Sometimes Lewandowski was scoring goals, and sometimes Lamine Yamal was one of the best players. And Pedri was still the man of the match, and that goes to show you, even after Rafinha, had a great performance with one or two goals, how many times this season, and he was still being named the best player in the world, guys. So that's the kind of player that we have, and also Vitinha. So when it comes to Vitinha, the goal that he scored in the UEFA Champions League final, when he literally got the ball from a CB, went all the way back to the box, drove the ball right into the midfield area. It did it like a give and go with Dembele, and then he drives all the way to the opposite box, right? And just he gave a really great pass to Dewey, who ends up finishing the play. That was insane. I mean, when I saw that goal, I was like, man, that is crazy, and that's the kind of player that Vitinha is. I think if you had a midfield with Vitinha and Pedri, it would just be unfair for the world. So some players that are worth mentioning here when it comes to the midfield, I would say Fede Valverde would be my bench player. I think he was the only player in the midfield that did anything for Real Madrid this season because Real Madrid was just in complete shambles. They just couldn't control the middle of the field, couldn't attack. But really, Real Madrid was pathetic, and only two players that really gave Real Madrid something, and we're gonna be talking about is Mbappe, who ultimately won the Golden Boot, right? So so as far as another player that I want to bring up is also Caicedo, guys. Caicedo had an amazing season for Chelsea. I think it's Chelsea's best player of the season has to be Caicedo, right? So Caicedo to me is another player that it's worth mentioning, as well as McAllister. I think McAllister is one of my favorite players that are so underrated. Like if somebody were to tell me, Miguel, tell me an underrated midfielder. I would tell you that one is McAllister. He was a big deal towards Liverpool winning, ultimately Liverpool, right, winning the Prem. So I think that to me, I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree, right? So let's get into the nitty gritty here. We're gonna build up my attack. So Like I said, I am going to mention other players before I mention my starting spot, and as my left winger. So I am going to have, the number three for me is going to be Kvaratskhelia. I think Kvaratskhelia had a great season, but he did have a good season with Napoli, right? So he comes into PSG and plays half the season for PSG, and it played incredible. Like he didn't even have to adapt. He looked like he was playing. He looked like he was playing like from way before with the team, and I think he was amazing. He even scored in the final, but I don't think he had a good enough season for either team. Right? He didn't have a great season. Like obviously people will say it's a great season with PSG, but what I'm saying is he didn't have a full season either with PSG or with Napoli. So I am going to say that Kvaratskhelia will be my number three. And also my worth mentioning is going to be Dewey. Dewey had 30 GAs, and people forget this, but Dewey was a bench player for Barcola, and Barcola is a great player as well. And Barcola was good, but every time that Dewey would come on the field, little by little, slowly but surely, took Barcola's spot. He just literally snatched it, and that's one of the reasons why they were able to be have such a successful career, because such a successful season, because Dewey would come off and then Barcola comes in. If Barcola plays and then Dewey comes in, they had such a double threat on the left wing that it was many other teams could only dream of, right? So guys, get in the chat. Let me know what you're saying. But guys, we all know Barca fans. Come on, the starting spot. We are going to give it to my man. Oh, I misspelled Rafinha. Has to be Rafinha. Rafinha, guys, 34 goals, 22 assists. That's insane. So he had 56 GAs in 57 games. That is, I don't know. The one thing that worries me about the kind of season that Rafinha had is that how in the hell is Rafinha going to have another season like this? I'm afraid that he already touched his ceiling, because not even his mother would have thought that he was gonna have this kind of season, right? Because that's insane. That's insane when you look at it. Um, I don't know. I don't know how we're just gonna get better than this. And this is one of the reasons why I actually do think that having that double threat from Spain is not such a bad idea, because I don't know, man. I call me crazy, but I just don't think that Rafinha will have as good of a season next year as he did last season. Um, so guys, I'm gonna move into the number 10 spot. So the number 10 spot, to me, the players that are worth mentioning for me is gonna be Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer had a great season, but the problem with Cole Palmer is that he had a better season last year than he had this year. So that it's not great for him. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Also, Wirtz had 23 GAs, and actually his GAs were insane this year. So I think Wirtz had an amazing season as well. So that's another player that is worth mentioning. I think almost, and now Liverpool is getting him right. Somehow, some way, Leverkusen is just getting destroyed by all the teams. Everybody, it's like a yard sale over there right now. They're letting go of every single player. At least they're probably going to be making a lot of money on Wirtz, which is going to be 120 to like 140 million. I think that's, to me, that's just crazy if you ask me. I think that's a crazy price for a player. I think it's a fantastic player, but at that price, I think it's just too much. Um, so um, so as far as, let me see if I have any other mentions that I want to mention before who is ultimately going to be the player for me. It's actually Mark Timothy. I think he is going to be my number two. I'm going to have him with 12 goals, but these are 12 important goals that gave Napoli the Serie A. So I am going to move him to my number two spot. He's going to be the bench player for my winner, who his name is. We all know that guy, and we all have a little bit of resentment for him, and his name is going to be Dembele. Dembele has a is a player who this season has moved around, right? He normally plays on the right wing, but then he'll do that thing where he's playing a false nine, sometimes he's playing a number 10, sometimes he's even playing as a left wing. The second goal by PSG in the final was actually Dembele playing on the left wing, and cuts inside and gave Dewey on the right the pass, who ultimately ended up scoring. What a game by Dewey, by the way. Uh, my second team even is going to be just nuts. If we move on to the right wing, so the right wing is a little controversial for some people. Some people may feel like it has to be right. The player with the most GAs or the most goals, and most people will say Mo Salah. And my issue with Mo Salah is just that Mo Salah has disappeared in a lot of important games. He let Nuno Mendes basically put him on cuffs, put the cuffs on him. He neutralized totally, completely. And Nuno Mendes, I am giving him the edge over Balde because Nuno Mendes, he also locked down Anthony in the final. He also locked down Mo Salah. He also locked down, dude, time and time again. Dumfries was a no-show. Like, nobody could get his way with Nuno Mendes. He was just insane. And I saw Nuno Mendes play with Leo Messi, and he didn't have this kind of level, guys. So that's the thing. So, like I said, so Mo Salah, I think Mo Salah had what? Mo Salah had an incredible season. He had 47 GAs and actually had 29 goals and 18 assists. And I think another player that is worth mentioning, which is going to be my number three, is going to be Olise. Olise was the best player for Bayern. He had an amazing season. He was actually, I think he had what? He had 17 goals and 17 assists for Bayern Munich this season. So this is one of the reasons why he was starting for France, and he didn't have a great game, to be honest with you. But he is a great player for Bayern Munich, and he had a wonderful season. And I just think that it's worth mentioning Olise as well when it comes to the right wing position. But ultimately, guys, to me, the best player is Lamine Yamal, and there's no question about it. No, I know some people may say that I'm biased. Some people may say that the Mo Salah should be here. But to be honest with you, Mo Salah just didn't have the kind of season. Mo Salah just didn't have the kind of he disappeared in big games. And Lamine Yamal, time and time and time again, guys, he was there when we needed him the most in every single big time game. And we all saw it. Like, he does this thing where he goes and talks to the media and says, if we want to play the Ballon d'Or, let's have a battle. And then he posts on Instagram the goal that he scored on France and said, "I'm coming for you again in this game tomorrow." And then he goes and balls out. He gives a lot of bulletin board material that most opponents cannot use it because he keeps winning. So that's the thing with him. Guys, smash the likes if you haven't. We're getting to almost the last one, and I am going to be talking about Barca news. We're going to be doing kind of a roundup news about some of the things that are developing right now with Ter Stegen, some of the things that are developing with Nico Williams, and also we're going to talk about a little bit of what Cristiano Ronaldo just said on an interview. So, guys, my last player, right? I am going to say that worth mentioning is going to be Turam with Inter Milan, who had 14 goals, 4 assists. Was a big deal for Inter Milan to be able to make it to the final. And if you can see, Turam was the player who actually took Araujo. I don't even know how he did that, but he took Araujo and basically left him on the dust. Like, he put him on skates, man. Like, I don't know how he did that, but he did it. and he ultimately is the one who gets the assist for the winning goal that Barca ends up losing to Barcelona ends up losing to Inter Milan. But I'm also gonna say Harry Kane, which is also actually gonna be my bench player, is Harry Kane, and Harry Kane had a great season for Bayern as well. And I think that Harry Kane it had a good season, and I'm happy that he finally won his trophy with Bayern Munich for the first time, right? But of course, the funny thing about Harry Kane is when he played with Tottenham for the longest time, and when he finally leaves, Tottenham won the title. So I don't even know how to explain that. But I think that ultimately, guys, I am going to be really honest. Kylian Mbappe is just too good. He was a Golden Boot winner. I know he scored a lot of penalties. I know that many of you are not going to like it, but the fact that that he had the kind of season with 43 goals, 5 assists, Mbappe only played like half the season, guys. Because remember, for half of the season, he was being criticized by Real Madrid. He was being talked about as this guy who came to ruin Madrid, and there were some Madrid channels that were saying that he was a scam. I thought it was ludicrous. I thought it was insane that they were saying those things. But at the end of the day, he still had the kind of season that he had. Now, one thing I do have to say though, Mbappe, let's be honest, he had seven he had 7 penalty kicks. I think he missed one. So that's 6 goals on his tally that are just basically penalties. And I know Lewandowski had like what, three or two or three or something like that. Lewandowski was I think he beat Lewandowski by like 4 goals, something like that. And Lewandowski, guys, he's worth mentioning too. He had an amazing season, but just like I said with Inigo Martinez, he's good enough to put him in my starting 11. But at the end of the day, I don't think that he can have the same kind of season that he had last year. So I'm worried about next season when it comes to Inigo Martinez, and I am more than worried about next season when it comes to Lewandowski. And this is just my opinion. I don't think that Lewandowski is good enough next season to just have the starting spot, and he's probably going to end up having the starting spot. So guys, so this is going to be my lineup: Donnarumma, Kunde, Van Dijk, Inigo Martinez, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Pedri, Dembele is my number 10, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and then Kylian Mbappe will be my starting 11. So this leaves me with my backups, right? I'm not gonna have it on screen because I don't want to go and change every single one of it. But this is my backup. My backup bench players of the 2024-25 season is going to be: Sommer is my goalkeeper, Hakimi is my right back, Pacho is it's my center back, Bastoni is going to be my center back, and my man Balde, right? And at the midfield is going to be McAllister, and it's going to be Fede Valverde, who had a great season. And also my left winger is going to be Desert Dewey, and my number 10 is going to be Mac Timothy from Napoli, and my right winger is going to be Mo Salah, and my striker is going to be Harry Kane. I can say Harry Kane or Turam. Either of those two, it's kind of a push to me to be really honest with you. And let me see what you guys are saying. Mbappe, yeah, and then MJ. What's MJ saying? Let me see. Oh, I can. Okay, here it is. Fair play. Fair play to Mbappe, despite it was a struggling year for him. Yeah, yeah, it was a struggling year, and at the end of the day, he still had a golden boot kind of season. So, guys, moving on here, we're gonna be wrapping up this stream fairly quickly, but we have to talk about a few of the news that are developing as far as Barcelona. Right? There's always news with Barca, and there's always something to talk about. And guys, the winners of the La Liga, the Barcelona just did a sweep, and nobody's talking about it because Real Madrid was left out. And if Real Madrid would have won this, I mean, we wouldn't hear the end of it. I'm just gonna be honest. So it says, so Rashad posted this and it says, Barca just won best coach of the season, Hansi Flick. Best best 23-year-old player or less, that would be Lamine Yamal. And best player of the season, guys, it goes to my man Rafinha. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think, I'm really curious, guys, to hear your opinion. Do you think Rafinha can duplicate the season that he had last year? I want you guys to think about that. I can he have the season that he had this year next year? Because like I said, not even his mother thought that he was gonna have this kind of season, let alone any of us, right? If we are being honest, I don't think that we thought that. So Adam, thank you. You said Joao Neves, and honestly, I don't know why I left him out of my honorable mention, because Joao Neves, he's such an insane player. At the end of the day, I had McAllister and Fede Valverde. I think they both had a little bit of a better season, but it's very close. Joao Neves with Vitinha having that 1-2 punch is insane, insanely good. And it says, what's your preferred striker for the 2026 season? Are you talking about who Barcelona should go after, or are you talking about okay, so just the 2026 season? So my preferred striker is it's Mbappe, right? I think I left that pretty clear. So that's gonna be my striker for 26 season. So now, if you're talking about Barca, then I would say probably Ferran Torres. I don't know the kind of season that Lewandowski will have, so that's kind of my issue right now. I don't know. I just one more year on those legs. Those legs, man. If you heard from ex players, right? They said the one thing that goes as quick as you'll never imagine is the legs, and that's kind of the issue. So it says, bring Grimaldo back. It's time for him to get a proper shot to play for Barca. The old regime did him dirty. Yes, I am going to say, NJ, you are spot on. The only question that I have right now is, when it comes to Grimaldo, is does he want to come here? Because we have heard him in interview after interview, and he keeps flirting with Real Madrid a little bit more than I wish that from a La Masia player, and it seems like he wanted to play for Madrid, to be honest with you. So I would be asking him, does he want to join, and in the end, does he want to be a backup for Balde? And that also can bring Balde's level a little bit higher, because Balde having more competition, right? Gerard Martin is not competition for him. So having Gerard Martin, also there's no competition. But if you bring somebody like Grimaldo, somebody who can actually bring us something to the table with a lot of GAs, he did have his fair share of goals and assists this season for Leverkusen. So I think that's very important with this system. Yes, and let's see, Rafinha won't replicate the same because he's getting new players to utilize him, but he will have a big impact. I do expect Rafinha to have a big impact. We all saw it, right? After that international break for Brazil against Argentina, he didn't have the same season. So the first couple of months of the season, so you can say probably about half of the season, he was great, but then he was not so great. So see, that's the thing, right? So guys, let's talk a little bit about some breaking news that we heard last night, about 9 hours ago, and that is going to be Ter Stegen, right? So, guys, Ter Stegen apparently, let's read it, right? Let's read it so I don't misinterpret it. So it says, Hansi Flick has chosen to move on from Ter Stegen due to the frustration with the goalkeeper's attitude after returning from injury. Ter Stegen's agent reportedly contacted Deco to inform him that the player was fully fit, and that demanded that he had been selected for the I'm sorry, fully demanded that he been selected for the match against Inter. Ter Stegen was upset that Flick didn't register him in place of Chesney for the semifinals. Because of this, he didn't travel to Italy with the team, even though the injured players like Kunde, although Barcelona had already been considering his future, Ter Stegen's attitude and assistance of playing after, insisting of playing after the injury, convinced Flick and the technical staff to stop counting on him. Right? These are just. I couldn't believe that I'm hearing this kind of news from a player like Ter Stegen, who does he think he is, guys? Who does he think he is exactly? Because if he's demanding after he's been injured, like we all saw him against Valladolid. He didn't have a great game. Like if you're coming off an injury, you can't just come in and demand that you are the starting player. Like that's just to me, Hansi Flick is the best thing that could have happened to Barca because he knows how to deal with these situations and he knows how these things are nowhere near an attitude for a player, especially somebody who is not even that good. Like he's acting like he's Michael Jordan out there. Like he's acting like, man, what are you talking about, bro? Like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm just gonna be really honest with you. Let's see. To be fair, I would do the same. Come on, like football is a short career. Plus, it was an academy player. It is not like a Figo did. Yeah, no, it's not a Figo. It's not a Figo. So um, I don't really blame Grimaldo for that. Yeah, I don't blame him either. I think we did him dirty. He definitely needed more. He needed to be trusted, and we didn't trust him. We just sold him, and we can see the kind of player that he became. Right? Had he gotten more time, and yes, Michael Jordan back. I'm back. Ter Stegen is being selfish. Yes, he's being totally selfish. What is going on with him? Like, who does he think he is? What has he done? Like, what has he done? Like for Barca in the last couple of years. Like that's just insane that he's demanding that he wants to be the starting job, and you can all see how great Chesney was. Chesney is a class act, and he doesn't want to force things. He's like, well, if you want to put me in, you can put me in, and this is why Iñaki Peña got dogged, guys. Iñaki Peña was in the doghouse because I know the story didn't came out, but I know Hansi Flick and him had an issue because he was playing him, and then all of a sudden he said, "You know what? Chesney's my guy," and he went with Chesney for literally the rest of the season, and I just couldn't believe what I heard from him. So. Guys, also let's get into the news. Cristiano Ronaldo is talking about it's talking about Lamine Yamal and Leo Messi, and before I see, let me read that. It says, "You see, they should have never sold Bravo back when too humble." Dude, Bravo was such a great goalkeeper. That's all you're gonna ask from a goalkeeper. He was not flashy, but he was so disciplined and he was so good in every single play. Bravo was one of the best goalkeepers we've ever seen, and unfortunately, we couldn't have a season with him just basically starting, right? So let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo says, "Ballon d'Or. If it's not this year, Lamine Yamal will win it in the next coming years for sure." I actually totally agree with Cristiano Ronaldo. I've actually gone on record and saying that Yamal will be the youngest player to ever lift a Ballon d'Or, and I'm just on record saying I that's how highly I grade Lamine Yamal, and the fact that he's already look, he was eighth in the Ballon d'Or race last year, and now he's one or two. So it goes to show you the growth from a 16-year-old kid to a 17-year-old kid. So world can only imagine what Lamine Yamal can do in the next couple of seasons. So I think the youngest player was either 20 or 21. I can't remember right now. The youngest player to lift the Ballon d'Or, I think it was the Phenom, right? R9, and I think he was 20 or 21. I can't remember. But Lamine Yamal, guys, he's 17. He has the 18th season, the 19th season. That's 2 years clear that he can win the Ballon d'Or in the next couple of seasons. So I do think that is a big deal. So now, one good thing that I just want to applaud Cristiano Ronaldo, right? He said, let me see if I have it posted here. So yeah, Fabrizio Romano says, he reported it. He didn't say that. So Cristiano Ronaldo, Lamine Yamal is doing very well, taking advantage of his talent. Let the kid grow. That is amazing that he said that. He says, don't put too much pressure on him. Let him grow and grow well. Take pressure off. He has no shortage of talent. Guys, this is very important because as Twitter, a lot of people from Twitter and I think just people in general, I think we tend to put too much pressure on players and people say, okay, you say he's the best in the world, he's the best in the world, he has to win the Ballon d'Or, he has to win the Ballon d'Or, and at the end of the day, Lamine Yamal is just a kid. And this is one of the things that Cristiano Ronaldo, you have to give him that. He said, Lamine Yamal is a kid. Let him grow. Don't put too much pressure on him because, yeah, look at what we have done to Neymar. Look at what we have done to Robinho. Robinho was supposed to be the next Pelé. If you guys don't remember, Robinho was supposed to be the next Pelé. And at the end of the day, guys, that's what happens when you put that kind of pressure on players. And to be honest with you, I think Cristiano Ronaldo here is just spot on. Then imagine Lamine beating CR7 and Messi being entering and Messi before entering the 2026 World Cup. Yeah, that would be crazy, right? Is the Finalissima going to be before the World Cup or is it going to be after the World Cup? I can't remember exactly. I think it's supposed to be after. So I don't know. I don't know if that's even possible. But yeah, so Lamine can literally play Cristiano Ronaldo on Sunday, and next year he will play Leo Messi in the Finalissima that was supposed to be taking place this year. I don't know why they moved it. So it says Robinho, yeah, same as Adriano, the Emperor as well. Adriano, man, I used to be such a big fan of Adriano. Thank you for mentioning him. I still remember. I knew where I was when Argentina was beating Brazil in the Copa America, and Adriano just scores a banger, dude. Like just insane in the last seconds of the game, and they went to penalties, and Brazil won it from Argentina. That was back in the day when I was rooting for Brazil. Now I root for Argentina because of Messi. So yeah. So guys, his words. Now I have to say something about Cristiano Ronaldo. The one thing that is not good about Cristiano Ronaldo for me is that he uses a double standard sometimes. So what did he say? He said, I think the Ballon d'Or. I don't think I have it. I didn't repost it, but he said like I think the Ballon d'Or should be the winner should be the one who won the Champions League, right? Saying because they asked him, do you think Lamine Yamal should win the Ballon d'Or? And Cristiano Ronaldo said, I think the player who wins the Champions League should be the player who ultimately just takes it, right? But that was a double standard because we all remember what happened in the 2013 season. Take a look at this picture. Oh, okay, I do have it actually, guys. Sorry about that. So it says Cristiano Ronaldo for me. Yeah. So maybe it is what. I know they were talking about the date, but I didn't think the date was officially being announced yet. So one player I wish I watched was R9 and Ronaldinho. Oh my God, Jonas, you didn't watch Ronaldinho? That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Yeah, I guess I forget how old I am, but Ronaldinho was without having to score that many goals. People just knew Ronaldinho was the best player every single season. So yeah, and then Cristiano, right? So Cristiano Ronaldo goes and said, actually, Ribery. Ribery posted on Instagram, and I'm probably just gonna end with this. Ribery posted on Instagram, so you need to win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or, guys. Wow, there's so many layers to this. It's not even funny. The fact that Frank Ribery went on Instagram to post right after those words from Cristiano Ronaldo. I thought that was kind of crazy. So he says, so you need to win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or. That's exactly what I said, dude. This is why you cannot be a double standard. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to know that you also, my friend, you also have Ballon d'Ors you shouldn't have won, or at least questionable ones. And to be questioning other players because they are winning it, and to say that it's lost the value. Where was Cristiano Ronaldo saying it has lost its value when he was winning it in 2015? So that's my only knock on Cristiano Ronaldo's words. It says when I started watching, it was Ronaldinho. It was all he was probably playing for in Milan, AC Milan at that point. It says Ronaldinho is why I'm a Barca fan and why I fell in love in soccer. Oh wow, yeah, Ronaldinho was generational talent. I would never forget. I still remember where I was when he scored those two goals on Real Madrid, and the Bernabeu was clapping Cristiano Ronaldo. That's insane. Not a lot of players can say that. Only a few players can say, I was at the Bernabeu, I scored a goal against Real Madrid, in the Bernabeu stand-up ovation. And I remember that game because they both of the goals were almost the same, where he just goes all the way on the left wing and just takes on Pepe and takes on 2 3 players and just gets a great touch and a great finish. And the first goal was like, okay, that's a great goal. But then the second goal came around. It was almost the same, and Bernabeu just like couldn't handle that, and they say, you know what? And Ronaldinho got a standing ovation from the Bernabeu. I think Leo Messi also did that, and those are the only 2 players that I remember. So for me, the first player I was lucky to watch R9 for Barca. I think that season was the first season that I watched. I was still so young, but now I know, and history tells me that for many many people, the R9 season, the last R9 season that he had with Barca, was one of the best any player. So it goes to show you the kind of season and the kind of dominance and kind of goals that he was scoring for Barca. R9 was, and to me, the best season for any player is still gonna be Leo Messi's 91 goals. But people can agree or disagree. Guys, I think that is all I have for you guys today. Grimaldo. Let's talk about Grimaldo real quick. I think that's the last thing I have pinned right here. So, guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can do so. Varsa Volume. I'm always tweeting thoughts about the game or news that are happening in real time. So, Grimaldo as a left back, I will take him on a heartbeat. But it's just my biggest question is, does he want to come to Barca? Does he want to play after how bad they treated him? In his first tenure when he was a La Masia player, I do think that it's a no-brainer. Barcelona, I think it's 15 million. I think he's going for like 15. So his price tag is actually really, really friendly, teen friendly. So I would do it. It's a no brainer to me. It's a really great competition for Balde. But you guys let me know. Do you guys think that Grimaldo will become a Barcelona player again? I do think that he was done dirty the first time around. They didn't give him enough chances. That the Bartomeu just messed things up, and honestly, Barcelona was able to come back, and we are back today thanks to La Masia, because we don't have the kind of money to go spend. Do guys, Barcelona had not been for La Masia, the Lamine Yamal, the Pedri's. No, Pedri not a La Masia player, but the Lamine Yamal, like Pedri, Kubarsi, those players like Gavi, Fermin. If we don't have these players, guys, Barcelona right now, we would be like 12, 15th place in the league, because we couldn't compete. We don't have the money to bring in players, and at the end of the day, it's thanks to La Masia. And I think we didn't do a good job with Grimaldo, and he should be a player who should be a little bit resentful. But at the end of the day, business is business, guys, and players understand that. I think Grimaldo will definitely understand that this is impersonal. It's just business at that point. It was a different president. It was a different director. So hopefully he can see that and come here and give Balde some competition, much needed competition. And there, like we all know how crazy the schedule is, and I think that it would be worth to having a player like Grimaldo. But the problem is, does he want to go start for another club? So ultimately, that it's going to be my thing. So guys, thank you for being here with me this morning, this afternoon. For some of you guys, depending on where you were throughout the day, I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. That the news for Ter Stegen really threw me off. What about the news for Gerard Martin, guys? The Wolves really want Gerard Martin. Apparently, do you guys want to see him go? Do you guys want to see him go there? I thought that he would go for a Bundesliga, for maybe the Ligue 1 or something like that. That would be a little bit of less competition. But Gerard Martin is the type of player, guys, that he's gonna give you everything he has. He is a type of player who fights, who wants to be more. He's actually a little bit more disciplined than Araujo. That's my thing that drives me crazy with Araujo, that he's just not disciplined. And Gerard Martin is a disciplined player, and he's just not great. That's the thing with him. He's just not good enough, but he will give you, if you need a player who will run through a wall for you, that would be Gerard Martin, in my opinion. Guys, I had a lot of fun with you all. I hope you guys can stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Thank you for being here. Before you go, if you're still here, like the stream, comment your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.